All right, everyone, welcome back to another Captain's Log here on the Game Vault. I'm Captain Beefy, as always, and this is Log 121322. Thanks for joining me today. This will be a real quick one. We're going to talk about, first and foremost, congratulations to From Software for Elden Ring winning Game of the Year. I pretty much predicted that. The game just did too much to the gaming community. It had such an impact on the gaming community that there was really no way anyone else would have taken it from them. My personal game of the year was, of course, God of War Ragnarok. I'm loving it. I've already finished one playthrough. I'm on my second one right now, and I'm doing a third one just to do like informative videos and stuff like that. So that's definitely my game of the year. I just found so much joy in that story, the cinematics of it, the fantastic voice acting was absolutely incredible. But props to Elden Ring, props to From Software. It is 100% well deserved. Now, there were quite a few announcements at the Game of the Year, the award ceremony, and a couple of them really piqued my interest. One, we knew that the Horizon Forbidden West standalone PSVR 2 game is coming out. Was it Call of the Mountain, I believe? And we got a little bit of a reveal on that. It looks fantastic. I can't wait to see that. I will be getting the VR set and trying out this next generation of VR. I only played around with the last generation one a little bit. I borrowed one from a friend for a weekend or a week or something like that, and played around with it, and it was cool. It was a lot of fun and all that, but not something that really hit me hard. I knew we were coming to the end of the generation, and I honestly didn't want to drop a few $100 on something that I'd probably only use for a year or so and all that. So I'm looking forward to that. I believe No Man's Sky is going to upgrade for the PSVR 2, which would be fantastic. We're going to have that Horizon game. Resident Evil Village is supposed to get ready for that, which will be cool. And who knows, maybe they'll take Biohazard as well. Like, that worked on the last one. I played a little bit of that in the last one, and God, I got to tell you, it made me nearly, scary stuff. That's fantastic. But in addition to the Horizon PSVR game, we got an announcement that the Burning Sands DLC for Horizon Forbidden West will be coming out next year, and it looks like that's going to be in April. So just a couple months after the standalone VR game, we're getting an expansion for Horizon Forbidden West, and that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm enjoying the Horizon series so far. I think it's fantastic. If the Burning Sands is anything like the Frozen Wilds was for the Horizon Zero Dawn, the original game, it should be a great expansion. It's kind of funny if you look at it, because you have the Frozen Wilds, which took place way up in the mountains in the snow and all that. Now you got the Burning Shores, which is going to take place down in basically Los Angeles. The other one was Montana, I believe, if I'm remembering it correctly. So, again, we're staying to the western portion of the United States here, which is all well and good. But it'll be a totally different atmosphere, whereas one took us up into this cold area and introduced us to a couple horrifying new creatures, and I think it was a whole new tribe, or a tribe that was only briefly touched upon in the main game. I think we're going to have that same thing here. The tribe that Aloy met when she went out to the San Francisco area. I can't recall what they were called, but it was the guy CEO was a part of it, and they were like they were studying the history and all that kind of stuff. So I think we're going to be seeing more of them and getting to look at their culture a little bit. Hopefully some really cool new creatures, new weapons and upgrades and so forth and so on will be great. One interesting thing is, and I'm happy about it, but I also feel bad about it, is that it is being built only for the next generation PlayStation. So it's only being built for the current gen PlayStation 5. So unfortunately, this game, this expansion, will not be available if you have a PS4 and you do not have a PS5 yet. And I feel bad because I know there's a lot of people that have had trouble getting a PS5, although it seems like there are more and more out there in the wild now, so you should have a better opportunity to get it. But now we're in a recession, and it's kind of tough right now. A lot of people don't have the extra money to drop $400 or $500 on a gaming console, and I get it. So I'm hoping that you know, well, I mean, there's really not much that's going to happen other than, it's going to be a lot of rage about it, I'm sure. But it is what it is. Nothing can be done about that at this point. I saw that we have an announcement for a new Death Stranding game, Death Stranding 2. I might have to go back and give that game a try. I played maybe an hour or two of it when I first got the PlayStation Plus upgrade that allowed me, that big library of games. It gave me so many games that it just overwhelmed me. I played a little bit of it because I had heard so much about it, and it's interesting and it's weird and it didn't catch me. I want to be straight up honest with you. I wanted to like it. I like Hideo Kojima and his games and all that, but there was something about that game that just didn't catch me. Maybe I had too much else I was interested in at the time and looking at all these different things. I don't know. I may give it another shot and take a look at that game just to see what all the hoopla was about and, kind of take it from there. Callisto Protocol's now been out for a couple weeks. I had my girlfriend play a little bit. If you watched the Captain's Log last week, you got to hear her reactions. I might do that once in a while with scary games for her, but I'll probably just chop them up a little bit and just get the loudest, scariest parts. I might take 2 or 3 hours worth of footage and then cut it down to a 10, 12-minute video or something like that and really get the best of the best, because it's kind of funny, especially even watching a horror movie with her. She'll get a little freaked out over stuff like that. But I've revisited the game a little bit, and my review stands on it. I do like the game. I do think it's imperfect, and there's definite room for improvement. But hey, it is what it is. The expansion will be out, I guess, sometime next year, early next year, I believe, a few months down the road. And I believe they're going to be introducing a New Game Plus, which I always think New Game Plus changes a game because it allows you to go revisit a game with, higher end gear, and a lot of times they up the difficulty levels, make the enemies harder or more of them, more spongy. I don't know. Different games do different things. Some games move enemies around and just change things randomly, But New Game Plus will be fun, especially if you could start off with some beefed up gear, because running around with a shiv and a wrench and a hunk of pipe fighting those things in the beginning was an exercise in frustration. I'll tell you that. I do have a game review I'm working on for God of War Ragnarok now that I'm finished with it. And I think it was fair to review the game until it was completely done. It's going to be a pretty intensive review. It's going to be long. I'm taking a long, hard look at the game. Not only the art of the game, the artistic aspects, but also the crafting of it. I believe video games have 2 major factors to them: the art and the craft. The art is, how pretty is it? What do the graphics look like? Do you have these beautiful scenery and all that stuff? Based on the art style and all that, do the characters look real, or does everything mesh together nice in that world? Aesthetically pleasing to the eye, lit properly, good color palette, all that kind of stuff, as well as the music, the acting, the story. That's all, excuse me, part of the art. But I'm also going to look at the craft end of it. And the crafting end is different. It's more technical stuff. The way combat works, the way upgrading equipment, weapons works, and the level designs, and so forth and so on. So I've been actually scripting that one out. I don't really script a lot of these videos. I just kind of wing it. I'm sure you could tell. But moving forward with game reviews, I think I'm going to start working on some scripts and really try to pick them apart and go into some serious detail on them, because I really like that. I like that part of gaming, is that discussion. You can have that robust discussion where you can, go over what you liked, what you didn't like, and have a conversation with someone who has a similar opinion or a totally different opinion than yours. It doesn't matter, as long as you guys can have a civil discussion. And we know you can't do that on Twitter, but I mean, at least maybe we could do it here down in the comments section. So that'll be fantastic. No Man's Sky, that has been my bread and butter series. I appreciate each and every one of you out there. I recently did a poll looking for what to do with the series moving forward. The predominant number of votes led to 2 things. One of them was to continue ship hunting, which is a passion of mine. I love doing that, and I always enjoy Just hunting down ships and finding these great exotics, the squids, the guppies, and all that. And not only that, but just some cool looking. Every now and then you'll find a really sharp looking haul or a great monstrous freighter or something like that. So we will continue with that, and I will continue to provide locations for them so you guys can go there and get those ships yourselves. But everyone was also, or a lot of people even more, were asking for a quick start guide for 2023. So I guess there's just enough people, still joining in this game. I mean, it's still $60 in a PlayStation Store, which is incredible for a game as old as it is. So we'll put together, starting early next year, a quick start guide. I'm going to guess 8 different saves right now on that game. So I've got a lot of saves. There's a ton. So one thing I will be doing is deleting most of those saves and starting fresh, because I'm going to be honest with you, it's overwhelming sometimes just to open up that game and go, what am I going to do today? You can't focus when you've got so many choices. Excuse me. So it'd be better for me to kind of narrow it down a little bit, focus. I'll have a brand new character for the quick build guide. I did get a decent response too for questioning whether or not they wanted like a super hardcore mode. So I was doing that on stream on Twitch, but I'm not twitching for a little while, so maybe I'll start a new series on that here and do that hardcore permadeath mode. Have that character, have the other quick start one, and then just have my main character that I got 400 freaking hours into for all the testing and that sort of purpose. Our second expedition's done. We got 2 more coming up throughout the rest of December and into the beginning of January, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Thanks for joining me, everyone. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. Looking to hit 500 by the end of the year. I had a nice growth spurt for a while, and now it's slowed down a little bit. So if any of you subscribe, it will be appreciated. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. I'll see you next time. Until then, peace.